So I'm going to kind of carry off where Anna was talking about in terms of how we work on skins. I'm on the skins team and been on the skins team for about 5 years. And Adam was talking about how Champ does a lot of their pre-production, how they talk about exploring the character before they start. On the skins team, the way we work is often on top of course, champions that already have personalities set, already have everything figured out about them. Our job is to kind of apply this new thematic or this new persona on top of that existing champion and that character. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the 10th anniversary skin that we worked on. Um, for this, the team really wanted to do something big. Here you can see the final recall first, and I'll kind of talk a little bit how we got there and stop along the way. So let me stop here. This was the original concept that Julian on the team actually did for 10th anniversary Annie. And you can see Tibbers here is a little kind of scary, crazy scary. But we wanted to do something super fun and almost a little trolly just to kind of celebrate, our culture and community with League here. But you can see that we've got such a large gap of different ideas going on with Annie, her personality, her looks. And a lot of you guys have asked, hey, are animators involved in the early concept phase? And the answer is definitely yes. We're very involved with giving feedback, talking about color theory. Animators, it's our job as well to talk about things like the backpack, the silhouette reads, like, hey, how do we think this new version of Annie's going to read in the game on top of her base animation set? So a lot of that feedback is iterative over and over and over again. Specifically for the 10th anniversary, this had a lot of eyes on it, so it was really fun for us. This is where we landed on with the final concept, and then Julian fleshed it out with the team's feedback. But you can see that Annie has come a long way back towards closer to what her base might feel like. But for us, this is like Annie going to GDC. She's going to E3. She's having fun. She's got all of her passes on. Her Poro backpack here, we were actually curious about putting this on Tibbers himself, but we thought that might be a little too big for for Poro King. So there's all these little design elements that don't just come from one discipline, from concept specifically. It comes from everyone on the team, which is one of the things that I love about being on the skins team is the collaborative process. And up next, you'll see that when I started it, I'm just using these primitive shapes. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I want Annie to like come out of, pop out on a cake and just be super celebratory, just like a birthday. This is my first pass blocking for the recall, but you'll notice this is Hextech Annie, because one of the things on skins that's fun and challenging at the same time is we move so fast, but we don't necessarily have the full model for our new thematic ready to go. So oftentimes we're blocking out our initial ideas with pre-existing champions or the base model. And then as the team progresses, we're adding new things. You can see here we've got more of a proofed out concept for these props in the recall. But it's really fun because our character artist, Jordan, he took my initial primitives and made these out of them, which was super awesome to see in the game. Here you'll see a final animation. But one of the things that I love showing people is just the kind of amount of scope creep we can have. Normally on recalls, we don't have this amount of props, but the team kind of wanted to really push up the the idea of what a 1350 actually is. So for us, we kind of overscoped what we normally do, and we just wanted to add tons of new content for her. You'll notice in the game too, she has a lot of extra stuff on top of her base animation set. Like Anna was saying on 1350s, we don't normally do a bunch of animation changes. But for her and sometimes other champions, we'll make that choice to put an extra effort to, like in this context, her base run. We actually added all kinds of jiggle. Some of this is hand keyed. Some of there's we've got dynamics in the Maya scene itself. But we felt this added a lot of fun character for her, and you'll see a lot of that on the Rift as well in her full kit. But it was really fun to add that along the way to kind of see how much it added quality-wise. There's a lot of little things you can do with secondary animation to really add on to what you're doing. And I wanted to give you guys a little preview of this quick process of how splash art also went through their work. Let me start this over. It's kind of going quick. But even splash artists working with the team will take feedback from everyone involved and go through quick sketches of what it might be like. The team will have a splash review. We'll talk about, hey, the elements in the background, we're not, some of these we love, some of these we don't. Can we add foreground elements? Um, and as the splash art is moving through its initial concept to more polished phase, we're actually looking at how the model stacks up with the in-game version with the final splash. It's very important to us that we kind of have a match with what we're doing. So that's another great process that is really cool about working on skins, is kind of having those cross-discipline collaborations, as we talked about before. Yeah, I'll keep mine short and sweet. Here's the final model that Jordan actually did for Annie and Tibbers here. And then here's a final render that he did of Tibbers, as we know him and love him, before it went into final textures. But yeah, that's super quick rundown for Annie. And what I can probably do is, if you want, Lana, I've got plenty of time left. Should I move on to some Spirit Blossom stuff as well?
I think that we should move on. You have
Okay,
plenty of
yeah,
time left, but as a unit, we're
yeah. That's what I said. Let's
impending
keep it short
end.
and let's get everyone in. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
fantastic. Thank you so much, Matthew. And where can people find you online? This is new.
Oh, yes, I am now on Twitter, and I am at Madimator J. You can find me under the Rats Animator Twitter channel as well. Yes, it's
Yeah,
not
Matt.
a yeah.
It's new. He came. We've been peer pressuring him for about a million
Yeah.
years. Thank you, Matthew Johnson.